Hi everyone, I am so happy to be here again. Welcome to my English class. Let's learn something new. Hello, today's lesson is about ancient Egypt. Let's learn about pyramids, pharaohs, and their gods. Before we begin, I have here some vocabulary for you. Let's start with the first word. Try to repeat after me. Pharaoh, pharaoh, the title of a king of ancient Egypt. Massive scale, massive scale, massive size. King's majesty, king's majesty, king's magnificence. Corpse, corpse, a dead body, especially of a human. To mummify, to mummify, to preserve a dead body as a mummy. Vessels, vessels, containers, bowls. Offerings, offerings, something that the person gives, often during a religious ceremony. Riches, riches, material wealth. Plateau, plateau, a large flat area of land that is high above the sea level. Bank, bank, talking about river, the land of either side of a river. Outskirts, outskirts, the areas that form the edge of a town or city. To plunder, to plunder, to steal goods violently from a place. Limestone, limestone, a white or light gray rock that is used as a building material and in the making of cement. One more time, just these words. Pharaoh, massive scale, king's majesty, corpse, to mummify, vessels, offerings, riches, plateau, bank, outskirts, to plunder, and limestone. Let's continue with our story about ancient Egypt. You will see and also hear a story about pyramids and pharaohs. Pay attention to the story because from time to time we have some follow-up questions, okay? So let's begin. Built during a time when Egypt was one of the richest and most powerful civilizations in the world, the pyramids, especially the Great Pyramids of Giza, are some of the most magnificent man-made structures in history. But how were the Egyptian pyramids built exactly? It's still a secret. There is no evidence. Their massive scale reflects the unique role that the pharaoh or king played in ancient Egyptian society. Let's continue with the role of the pharaoh in Egyptian society. During the 3rd and 4th dynasties of the Old Kingdom, Egypt enjoyed tremendous economic prosperity and stability. Kings held a unique position in Egyptian society. somewhere in between human and divine. They were believed to have been chosen by the gods themselves to serve as their mediators on earth. Because of this, it was in everyone's interest to keep the king's majesty intact, even after his death, when he was believed to become the god of the dead. Ancient Egyptians believed that when the king died, part of his spirit, known as Ka, remained with his body. To properly care for his spirit, the corpse was mummified, and everything the king would need in the afterlife was buried with him, including gold vessels, food, furniture, and other offerings. The pyramids became the focus of a cult of the dead king that was supposed to continue well after his death. Their riches would provide not only for him, but also for the relatives, officials, and priests who were buried near him. So we have finished the first part of the lesson. I have here 5 questions for you. Question 1. How were the Egyptian pyramids actually built? Question number 2. Why were the pyramids built? Question number 3. Why did the ancient Egyptians make the pyramid so big? Question number 4. What was buried in the pyramids? And the last one. What was the role of a pharaoh in ancient Egypt? So here are your answers for the first one. How were the Egyptian pyramids actually built? Well, it's still a secret. There is no evidence on how they were built. But they definitely are some of the most magnificent man-made structures in history. For the second question, why were the pyramids built? Here's your answer. The pyramids were built to protect the body of the pharaohs after death. For the question number 3, why did the ancient Egyptians make the pyramids so big? To reflect the unique role that the pharaoh or king played in ancient Egyptian society. The bigger the king, the bigger the pyramid. For question number 4, what was buried in the pyramids? The mummified pharaoh was buried in there, and everything the king would need in the afterlife was buried with him, including gold vessels, food, furniture, and other offerings. And your answer for the last question, what was the role of a pharaoh in ancient Egypt? In ancient Egypt, a pharaoh was considered to be the king. They were believed to have been chosen by the gods themselves to serve as their mediators on earth. So there you go. Let's continue our journey to ancient Egypt. Now, did you know the pyramid's smooth, angled sides symbolize the rays of the sun and were designed to help the king's soul ascend to heaven and join the gods, particularly the sun god Ra? Now let's talk about the Great Pyramids of Giza. No pyramids are more celebrated than the Great Pyramids of Giza, located on a plateau on the west bank of the Nile River. on the outskirts of modern-day Cairo. The oldest and largest of the three pyramids at Giza, known as the Great Pyramid, is the only surviving structure out of the famed Seven Wonders of the ancient world, and it was built for the pharaoh Khufu. The sides of the pyramid's base average 755.75 feet, 230 meters, and its original height was 481.4 feet, 147 meters, making it the largest pyramid in the world. The pyramids today. Tomb robbers and other vandals in both ancient and modern times removed most of the bodies and funeral goods from Egypt's pyramids and plundered their exteriors as well. Stripped of most of their smooth white limestone coverings, the Great Pyramids no longer reached their original heights. Khufu's, for example, measures only 451 feet high. Nonetheless, millions of people continue to visit the pyramids each year. We are done with the second part of the lesson, and here I have again 3 questions for you. The first one: what do the smooth sides of a pyramid symbolize? Question number 2: which is the oldest and the largest pyramid of the 3 pyramids of Giza? Question number 3: what happened with the pyramids over time? And here are your answers. The answer for question number 1, what did the smooth sides of a pyramid symbolize? Well, the pyramid's smooth, angled sides symbolize the rays of the sun. The answer for question number 2, which is the oldest and the largest pyramid of the 3 pyramids of Giza? The oldest and largest of the 3 pyramids at Giza is the Great Pyramid. And for the last question, what happened with the pyramids over time? Tomb robbers and other vandals in both ancient and modern times removed most of the bodies and funeral goods from Egypt's pyramids and plundered their exteriors as well, stripped off most of their smooth white limestone coverings. For the last part of the lesson, we have practice vocabulary. So you have to fill in the blanks with the appropriate word from the list. Now here are the words: limestone, scale, bank, pharaoh, majesty, offerings, outskirts, and to plunder. I'm going to read each sentence for you, and then we can check your answers together. First one: whenever gods are worshipped, gifts and are made to them of one kind or another. The second one: is hard enough to resist weathering, but usually soft enough to be worked, cut and carved, and it is used for building material. Third one: he built a new factory on the of Birmingham. Next one. Even the Romans invaded the area. The gold reserves. Next, we don't yet know of the problem. The sixth one, the Egyptians believed there to be the mediator between the gods and the world of men. Istanbul, city at the crossroads of the world. And the last one, Luxor temple can be seen from the east of the Nile. Let's check your answers. So for the first sentence, you had to use the word offerings. Whenever gods are worshipped, gifts and offerings are made to them of one kind or another. For the second one, we have limestone. So limestone is hard enough to resist weathering, but usually soft enough to be worked, cut and carved, and it is used for building material. Here we have outskirts. He built a new factory on the outskirts of Birmingham. Even the Romans invaded the area to plunder the gold reserves. So here we had to plunder. Next one, we use scale. We don't yet know the scale of the problem. Here the word is pharaoh. The Egyptians believed their pharaoh to be the mediator between the gods and the world of men. For the seventh sentence, we have majesty. Istanbul, city of majesty at the crossroads of the world. And here in the last sentence, we use the word bank. Luxor temple can be seen from the east bank of the Nile. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye!